Hi, everybody. My name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns. You're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role-playing games with friends. This is our continuing IGoA Mauliverse series that we've been playing, switching a few different RPG systems, playing in the 90s in this made-up California city called Beachwood. And in Beachwood, there is this gigantic mall called the IGoA Mall. IGoA, what does that mean? Intercontinental Group of Awesome, which is this recursive thing. I don't know. Like it's what we are, and it's also the mall. Who knew? Why do I do these things? I don't know. We are currently playing the second of two sessions of Monster Squad, which is a Monster of the Week hack that Tyler and I worked on. A Monster of the Week comes out from, distributed by Evil Hat, created by Michael Sands. It is Supernatural meets X-Files meets Buffy meets Hellboy the RPG. And what we did with Monster Squad is take the assumptive hunters who are the player characters, de-age that expectation. They're middle schoolers, hence the name Monster Squad, which is this not great movie from the 80s that I still have some affection for, and I think Tyler maybe does too. So we have a few lines and veils. Real quickly, we'll go over those as our safety tools, one of two. We have lines against sexual assault, sexual violence, harm to children, and by harm to children, that's younger children, and also we're not going to have any visceral harm to our player characters. Pandemics, slavery, and torture. We have veils, which means that we're okay if this content exists, but we're going to fade to black. We won't dwell on it. It won't be a thing we see, quote unquote, on screen. And the veil is on suicide. And then we have two items that, if they appear, they will be veiled. But before we introduce that content, we ask first. That means that, hey, I think that this is a thing that we're leaning towards, or this seems like something I could introduce. Is this okay with everyone? And those two items are sexual content and harm to animals. And then the one thing we have who will ask first, and if we do it, is racism, or just racism. I'll go ahead and take off speciesism. I think I copied it over from a Star Wars game. And I don't think there are any speciesism opportunities here in Monster Squad. Although, if you're going to insult someone just for being a werewolf, I mean, yeah, that's fine. You can X card it if you want, which is our other safety tool. Trumping on top of the lines and veils, we run into something that you didn't think to put in lines and veils, or it just hits you odd for whatever reason. Your safety is more important than the canon of the made-up elf game story we're playing right now. So just indicate, hey, I need to X card X or Y, and we'll excess it from our play. I'm Rich. I already said that, the keeper. So let's go around the horn. I'm going to start from the far right on our character keeper and ask each of you to remind us who you're playing. Tyler, introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
Hi there, I'm Tyler, he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Tegan Marsh, who is the Searcher Playbook, and she's a cute little girl, about 4'6". She is pretty darn bright, and she also, when she was a good bit younger, was present when a psychic disturbance occurred. A psychic person lost control of their powers and sort of blasted her, and it awakened her own powers. She is a sensitive and a empath. She kind of has psychometry in a way. She can read an area or a place, things, and she's also able to feel the emotions of others. And during the course of the difficult kind of reckoning with that, she found a friend, her doggy, her puppy from her mind, Archie, who is a Rottweiler who is there to protect and defend her. And Tegan is a bit of a crusader, I think we're seeing.
Question that we may have discussed before but didn't stick in my mind. Is Tegan aware that she brought Archie into existence, or does she think that Archie just showed up one day and is this dog she has a connection with?
I think that she's fully aware that Archie is not a natural dog, since Archie talks to her in her brain and other people in their brain. But I think that the idea that he's whole cloth made up by her mind, she may not completely understand that. She probably thinks that he is there coming from whatever source, but the thought that he would, if something happened to her, he would disappear probably doesn't quite occur to her.
Gotcha. Cool. Thank you. Jan, you're up next. Introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
Hi, I'm Jan, he, him pronouns. I'm playing Sebastian Spender, also he, him pronouns. He is the weirdo playbook, which is the Flake from Monsters Week. And he's armed and dangerous, which is odd for a kid his age, but yeah. Flake tends to have lots of weapons, and is internet savvy, and just really weirdo.
Face down a kid at the bike stand. You talked him out of a fight, so his weirdness is occasionally effective. Thank you very much, Jan. Alex, you're up. Introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
I'm Alex, I use he, him, and I'm playing Franklin Booth, who is the kid reporter, which is the Snoop playbook in Monster Week. And in his mind, at least, he is a hard-hitting investigative reporter.
For a middle schooler, he probably is.
For the middle school newspaper, yes.
I mean, you've got a couple of moves that make you not terrible at this. It's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Alex. And last but not least, we have Jen. Introduce yourself. Tell us about your character.
Oh, man. For a second, I was like, oh, what a great game I'm about to watch. But then I remembered I'm playing it. My name is Jen. I use she, her pronouns. I am playing Bailey Ellington, the naughty kid, also a user of she, her pronouns. She's a kid who gets up to some squirrely shit, as they say in the parlance. She's a bit of a pickpocket. She found a skeleton key with handy powers, and she's kept it. But she's pretty close-knit with her neighborhood, and she has, a little bit of a Robin Hood-y code of honor thing that she seems to at least partially get from her dad. But yeah, she's much more likely to do something shady and not make a direct confrontation out of something, but just mark something down and balance things out later. She's also held back a year.
That's right.
So she's the 15-year-old in the group.
Now, was she held back because of academics or because of truancy?
Yes.
Okay. Missed too many days, fell behind on too many tests, flunked a few grades due to inattentiveness. She is smart enough to.
Absolutely. She's sharp too. This is actually a really smart team.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So she's smart, and I'm sure that her teachers know it. But yeah, a lot of truancy, some blown tests and grades. Might have also had some sort of move in, move out timing problems.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure if the grade holdback was recent or a few years ago, which is a distant age when you're 15. 3 years ago is like a different life.
You're not wrong.
Yep.
Cool. So, in our first session after making characters, doing history, introducing everyone, the aforementioned fight that didn't happen with Sebastian and Big Mike. That was kind of the inciting incident that we dealt with, but then a deeper threat came to be as you guys realized that something's wrong with PTA. Janet Thompson, who, by the way, if you look up in the grown-ups, I now have a picture for Janet Thompson. She's row 20 in the cast. And thanks whoever found the picture for Marnie, our middle school lunch lady. That's a great pick. Good job. That Janet has produced some kind of video, and she's organized a protest against Flick Video, which is located in the IGoA Mall up on the second story. And Flick Video is, I didn't get a picture of our purveyor, but Ellen, the woman who runs Flick Video, was not aware until crack kid reporter Franklin Booth came over for an interview to make her aware that, hey, you're about to be protested. And the protest was generally think of the children, this Flick Video, which does have, schlock cinema. It is a lot of VHS. We're in the 90s, so DVDs are a thing. Blockbusters are a huge thing because Netflix has not knocked the living crap out of it. So Flick Video has made its bones by existing in the mall, so there's a high amount of traffic, and also I think cinema verite, lots of stuff, a lot of sci-fi, horror, old stuff, things that are harder to find, and just Ellen pretty much knows her clientele, can speak animatedly, excitedly about different kinds of small cinema. She doesn't really carry the big blockbuster stuff. She's like the second run theater, cinema cafe of video rental and purchase. So now she's aware that not only are there protesters who are nearly to her doorstep, but also there were accusations that she sold drugs, which she vehemently denied, and was surprised at the accusation, but also shared that maybe she doesn't have that exactly PTA agreeing stance on the United States laws and drugs, but that she wasn't going to go to jail for that. Other things that happened in our first session. Sebastian went home to do some work on the PBS, blew one of many roles, and found out that his dad had dressed up in a nice tie and was headed out to the protest and had turned off their internet. And we also had Bailey went home to the junkyard, saw her cool junkyard dog, talked to her dad, who was wearing a nice polo, and talked about also going to support this protest. And he hopped into his truck and listened to some Rush Limbaugh as he drove off to participate in aforementioned protest. And that's when Bailey went inside, checked around, and found this particular video that was also being shown at your cafeteria earlier that day about let's make Beachwood better. And part of making Beachwood better was taking care of the children, making sure they got the best possible safe environments to enhance their education and help them to be well-rounded and respectable individuals. And then we had Tegan, who went home to her helicopter parent mother, who was didn't want Tegan to go out to this protest to participate in any way, shape, or form because it's far too dangerous. Far too dangerous. And so she was, I believe you were sent to your room, if I remember correctly, Tegan, or you decided to go to your room, right?
No, I ended up convincing her to take me.
That's right. So, man, that was the one piece of our last session that did not pop into my memory. Yeah, that's right. You nailed.
I just promised to be good.
That's right. That's right. Well, so you promise to be good. We will follow you during our establishing shot for this particular second episode after seeing that brief montage of scenes that's much quicker via the television medium of our minds than Rich's long monologue there. And what is it, Tegan, that your mom drives? Is it like wood panel station wagon? Is it like a Canyoneer?
It's definitely the minivan. Yeah, it's the full slide door. I'm figuring a Dodge of decent size.
Nice. So not a Canyonero then. So Dodge minivan sounds good.
No, Canyon would be just too aggressive for her.
It is pretty aggressive. I mean, it smells like steak and seats 35. That's not a minivan kind of thing. So a cool Dodge minivan, and I think it's like a pale blue with a little bit of the wood paneling on the side. And do you ride
definitely
in the back?
Baby on board on the side that's been stuck there since I was way younger.
Bravo, nice. I love it. I mean, this is the 90s. If she were rebellious enough, she'd have a Calvin peeing on something sticker, but that's not. We just have the baby on board. That's much more appropriate. Good stuff. Like is this a thing you guys know from Europe? Like, did this even appear in any media that you saw? That in the 90s, for some reason, there was this bizarre fascination of having a yellow yield sign, except it would say, baby on board or small kid on board. And you would put it with like a little lick and stick kind of suction cuppy thing, and it would hang from the rear window, not the mirror, but the window. You guys who?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that was just a purely American stupid thing.
And the great hit song by the B Sharps on The Simpsons.
Nice. 2 Simpsons references already. This is definitely 90s, back when The Simpsons was worth watching. Awesome. Cool. So we follow the van, park at the mall. And clever viewers of the IGoA Malliverse realized that the place they're parked was where the amusement park was set up over the summer, but now we're here in August, September time frame, and so it's now resumed its stance as mall parking. And as you pull up in the van, you see that there are a number of other parents kind of milling around. You recognize them from previous PTA meetings. You see that I don't know if this is 90s enough, but I'm going for it. There's one lady with a baby Bjorn, and she's holding a pickup truck pulls up, and out hops Bailey's dad, and he starts handing out some of the picket signs that he's made. And we have Janet there. She's got the little like CB2 loudspeaker thing, and she and it comes out and it squelches a little bit, and she says, "Thank you everybody for coming. So we do what is needed to be done to make sure the Beachwood stays safe. We're going to keep Beachwood better." And yeah. A few of the parents are getting excited. What is it that Tegan does during this about to begin protest?
She's going to try and stick close to her mom as things are going through, but she will think over to Archie. Franklin and Bailey, and it's not Angus, it's a different name. It's Sebastian.
Come on, Jan, rename, buddy. You're gonna blow my brain I'm gonna call you Angus 5 times, I guarantee it.
They're supposed to be here. Arch, go see if you could find them and let them know I'm here.
Yeah. He doesn't nod because he's a dog, but yeah, you hear an affirmative panting. Sweet. So for convenience of getting everybody together, I'm assuming that Sebastian and Bailey, you guys ride up on your bikes, and maybe Franklin, you and Tegan all meet up together with Archie somewhat near, as all the parents are kind of marching in, heading up the escalators all together, like this long line of angry parents with pickets. And who was our hapless security guy? I gotta remember who he is. I got him here.
Officer Black?
Officer Black. No, Officer
no.
Sips.
Officer
No,
Sips.
he's not really an officer, but he calls himself Officer Sips. Mall cop. Mall cop Sips is just watching all the parents go, and he's like on his little walkie-talkie trying to talk to the second floor mall cop. Hey man, you got some incoming. Sorry. Cut back out to you guys.
So I gotta ask, did I have any luck with the Chestnut Street crew?
Yes, you wanted to gather up some of the Chestnut Street crew to come along with you. Absolutely. Are you imagining these kids are older than you? Younger than you? Same age, like same grade? What were you thinking for?
Uh,
Are they kids? Just
we didn't really establish that. So
I
I'm
know.
imagining
So what you like?
that they're, around my age. Some a little bit younger, some a little bit older, some basically the exact same age, but like it's a good fit for youth of neighborhood.
Okay. So why don't you roll 2d6? That's how many kids showed up.
All right. Oh wait, I can just roll. I can roll with the dice roller.
Yes, you can. It's inclusive. It
All
likes you,
right.
Jen.
I'm gonna roll tough because I don't have.
Oh, right, because you have a mod.
I have no mod for
Cool. 7
tough.
kids.
7 kids. All right.
That's a lot of kids. So there's like a brother sister crew, part of the crew, maybe like a cousin, a few others, maybe one that's related to you distantly. They're all ready to
Mhm.
go. A few of them potentially have weapons. They're not going to like brandish them.
That'd be
But just in
stupid.
case. That
Yeah.
would be very stupid. You can get arrested.
Yeah. Like, gosh, I've taken a little time to get some junk together and make a sign.
Oh, you have an anti-sign?
Huh? Oh no,
Yeah,
I have a pro sign. I have like a face the flicks. Flick is good.
Flick is good. Okay. Nice.
Really smart, but not really artistic.
So Franklin, well, the shot centers on you first. What do you do?
I
You see
think
everybody gathering.
I like pushing against the edge of the mall, like to get out of the way of this crowd of parents, since like I've been coming from Flicks
Mm-hmm.
because I just had the interview, and I probably so I'm just nervously like watching the crowd, and I don't feel quite ready to just step in front of them and try and get an interview at the moment. That seems a bit scary, since I think do I see Sebastian's dad he's in the crowd, isn't he?
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's
You
going,
see him.
yeah. So
Recognize him.
and
It's got a nice.
I met
His tie
Sebastian's
has like
dad, so
his tie
yeah,
looks nice, but as we get closer, we see that there are little Garfields on it. So he does what he can to clean up, but he's still kind of a weirdo.
So yeah, I think I just like circumnavigate around them and then
Sure.
try and find backup.
Yeah, you come back out and you see Bailey, Sebastian, Tegan, and a bunch of kids from Chestnut Street.
The protests here, like all of the parents.
No, right? I mean, my dad even went.
There's something wrong with them.
I think he's being mind controlled.
Am I in this portion of the scene?
Absolutely. Yeah, you guys are all
Okay.
together. Like this is a thing. You're all together.
Okay, cool. Then
I did the
reach-
magic of convenience. Sorry.
Okay, cool. For a larger scene with a lot of like moving bodies, I always want to make sure.
I appreciate it.
So I'll reach into my backpack and deliver onto. Well, basically, I'll hand it in the direction of either Franklin or Sebastian, whoever is more excited to grab the VHS tape and be like, "Look what I found in my dad's player."
What's that?
What is?
I mean,
It's a copy
it's a
of
VHS,
that.
so I'll leave it to Franklin. But
I mean, maybe there's a sticker on it that our PTA villainess.
Oh yeah, it's build Beachwood better. And it's
Yeah.
like you've written in like the loopy script, and there's no like hearts over the eyes because build Beachwood. Oh, the eye on build has a heart, right? And when you
Yeah.
see that they like it has the carpet protection thing, the tab isn't broken off.
Okay, we should be watching this, or one of us, maybe not all of us.
Something big is going on here. Like everyone is
My
involved.
even my dad is out there. I didn't know he owned a polo shirt, and I'm pretty disturbed. He is not this guy.
No, well, I mean, my dad's wearing a tie.
What?
Something big's going on, man.
Have you taken a blood test yet?
I'm going to connect the dots.
All right, you should connect the dots. That sounds awesome. A move that you have that will definitely pay off. So the beginning of each mystery, you haven't done it yet, so this is perfect time. You're looking for wider patterns that the current events might be part of. Roll plus sharp.
A 9.
Oh, so close. Anybody want to help?
So I hold 1.
Will help.
Okay.
Roll with cool to help out.
Where's my? Just gotta check my cool. What my cool is. I have 1 in cool. Okay. Am I right?
Yep. Looks like it just popped up. An 8. So on a 7 to 9, that will boost by +1, but it means you're exposed to trouble or danger if that comes. So with a 10 plus, you get 3 hold.
Yep. And I get to ask questions later.
You do? Okay, cool. So you don't have any immediate questions you want to ask right now?
No, not particularly yet.
Okay, sounds good.
Need to encounter some people.
Sure. Okay. So you have connected some dots, and they will pay off later.
Like, guys, I talked to Ellen in Flix, and she has no idea. She had no idea about the protest at all. About the drugs rumor and.
Yeah, my dad said something about drugs.
What?
I heard parents talking about like that she was selling drugs or something.
Yeah.
I grilled her pretty hard on it. I got that. So she denies it.
I mean, she's already got a job. She doesn't need to sell drugs.
I don't know. I mean, she rents out horror movies. She must be like super rich.
I think from the moment that Sebastian said that, said mind control, I think that Tegan has kind of just been staring at the mass of them, and I am going to open up my mind for sensitivity.
Oh, so do you need to act under pressure to do that first?
I don't. That's my empathy.
That's when you can okay, empathy. That's right.
So I roll weird. So I'm adding 1 to this roll. And I rolled a 9, so that's a 10.
Ooh, nice. So on a 10 plus with your...
I'm going to get a vision. I gain a definite impression of vision, tangible aura, overheard thought about something important.
Ooh, beautiful. Sorry, I'm just trying to find it. So I'm going to look it over real quick. Okay. Psychic environment. Okay, 10 or more. Definite impression, vision, tangible aura, overhead thought. Sweet. Okay. So let's say that they're talking off to the side. It's near the curb, right? And then that little bit of poured concrete that's divvied up the sidewalk that leads to the main entrance to the mall. And you feel drawn to kind of learn more, and so you step closer towards the entrance, and the sun kind of shines behind you, and you're able to see everyone headed up the escalator, right? And you see that there's this like bluish line between each of the adults. It kind of crisscrosses over a couple of the other people who aren't part of the PTA who are also on the escalator because mall. But yeah, there's just like a line that connects all of them. On one hand, it reminds you of like connecting the dots. On the other hand, it's like the strings on a marionette. And you don't see it on anyone else in the escalator.
I'll turn back and look at that videotape that's being held there. And
I am, in fact,
It's a little
currently
glow.
taking a screwdriver to the videotape.
you said it had the glow?
Mm-hmm. It has the glow.
That's it. That's
Huh?
the tape. They're all connected to the tape. The tape is what's done it. It's controlling their minds. Not that one probably in particular, but like all. She sent them all the tape.
What?
The PTA head?
I think
That means
so.
there's like more tapes out there.
I bet every one of our parents got one.
I mean,
How do we undo this? Do we like play the tape backwards, or
if you destroy that one, is Bailey's dad suddenly
I don't
free?
know.
Maybe.
Well,
Right.
it's one way to find out? And are we outside or are we indoors?
Yeah, I imagine you guys were outside in the sun. It's easier
Yeah.
to shoot. So
Yeah.
it's, you have a large group that's congregated without Officer Sips giving you trouble.
All right. I drop the tape on the ground, and the post for my protest sign is actually my baseball bat, so I just sort of boot off the sign portion
Nice.
and smash the VHS tape to smithereens.
Sweet.
If this is like supernatural, like, that means this could get dangerous.
Yeah.
Like they may do something to the store.
Mom said something about burning it down.
What?
But
Then they can burn on the entire mall.
I'll look at my crew.
Among your crew is Layla, who is in our NPCs cast, and she says, I saw this one movie where when people watched the videotape 7 days later, they would be murdered by like this stringy haired Japanese girl.
That sounds kind of dumb.
It was awesome. She made this weird throat noise.
Okay, maybe it's really cool when you see it.
Admittedly, it's pretty visual.
It's kind of scary if you think about it. But yeah, so I guess we gotta stop them from going berserk on the place, because there are like 2 mall cops in the whole mall at any given time.
We
mean,
we have to go check to see if destroying that one tape did anything.
Yeah. And I'm kind of looking in there to see if I see Bailey's dad.
Yeah, you pick out Bailey's dad, and it does not appear anything has changed. Your vision's starting to fade, but you still see the after effects of that line between them. The one thing you do pick up is you kind of scan across, you see them starting to head towards Flick Video, is that the nimbus around Janet is brighter. Janet Thompson, the PTA leader, it's brighter, it's stronger, and you see a number of the strings lead to her.
It's her. The impression she's made on them. It's not going away with the tape.
Shit.
It's her.
I mean, what can we do? Can we cut the magic strings?
Or we could try to get her to tell them to stop.
I mean,
Think she listen to us?
This
Oh,
is sort of the worst time to do that because she's got all of these people behind her.
Yeah.
maybe I can interview her for the school paper.
yeah.
I might,
Good way to stall.
yeah.
Yes.
See if she messes up, says something stupid.
Yeah. So I'll do that alone.
I'll be your cameraman,
Thank you.
woman, thing.
I
Send Archie with
Oh.
you.
Let's just all go. Come on.
You're probably right, Sebastian.
go into my backpack and like hand Bailey my tape recorder.
I look at it
And
and
then,
I'm like, appraising.
And then hand over the Polaroid camera as well.
All right, double cam.
We've got a story
Okay,
to get.
guys. We're gonna try to stall them. If you could try to get, between the crazed parents and our cool video store, that might, make them act slightly more sane.
Chestnut Street kids, including Layla, are all like, yeah, we'll try. Let's just like, my aunt is there, so maybe I could just talk to her or something. We'll do something. We've got your back.
Cool. I know it's hard, but like, don't call them stupid or dumb names.
But they are being stupid and dumb.
They're being so dumb, but it's not their fault. And also, just, I don't want to see my dad pick a fight with a middle schooler because I don't
Right.
want to have to lay him out, and I don't think I can.
Are you sure my dad didn't bring a shotgun?
You should maybe check in on that,
Pretty-
friend.
Oh, I think I saw his car over there. I'll check in the boot.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. Let's go, Franklin.
Awesome. So Bailey and Franklin, you head in. I assume we'll just say Tegan and Sebastian head off to double check to see if the shotgun is present or not present in the boot or trunk of Sebastian's dad's car. And yeah, there's a hubbub. You can hear the shouting. They've already got some like protest slogans going. What is that? They like the chanting of like particular like hell no, we won't go. What is that
It's just called chanting.
phrase for it? Is it? I thought there was.
Chanting, slogan,
Nevertheless,
sloganeering.
yeah, there we go. Sloganeering. That sounds good. That's it. Just riding that one to all the way through. So you guys come up the escalator, and sure enough, you see there are 40 or so adults, and they're in this like oval that they're marching around, and you hear on her little loudspeaker thing is Janet, and she's trying to get them riled. And do you care about your kids? Yes. Yeah, well, we're going to make sure that they have the right, everything they need to grow up strong and right. And then you guys come along, and yeah, Bailey, your dad's probably going to see you unless you're going to try to hide from this. Are you trying to sneak past? Give me an act.
I identify a gap in the circle, and I like nudge Franklin, and I'm like, press.
Mrs. Thompson, Mrs. the monk.
And
I start holding up my pass in front of me.
Ooh, nice. I think you're putting your camera or microphone right in a person's face here, right?
Yep.
So they break off whatever they're doing. They might go back to it after they deal with you, but you create enough time for other squatties to act in the meantime. But we'll use this as a setup because I think that's a cool. So she puts the little loudspeaker thing she's held. There's a cord, like a pigtail cord.
Oh yeah, to
this little CB thing, and then the loudspeaker, right? And it's like a handle type deal. So she puts that down and she says, Franklin, honey, I don't think this is and then she thinks for a second and says, you know what? This is the perfect opportunity for you to write the story of a lifetime, Franklin Booth.
I'm sure all the kids who read The Monk are eager to hear your words.
And I'll like circle around her and like tap her shoulder and be like, I think the light's a little better this way. Just, we're gonna.
Ooh, yeah.
And then I pick her pocket.
When you steal something small, roll plus charm. So good.
I have no idea what I'm gonna get, but I want to try. Here we go. Hey. You know what? We're rolling this really small. I'm gonna spend a luck.
Nice. Getting a 12. Oh man. All right, on 10 plus or more, you get it, and they didn't notice you taking it. Okay. So let's say that she's of course got a nice purse, and you just kind of guide her over, and your hand slides into the purse, and you pull out you pull out a library card, like one of those newer ones for the Beachwood library where you can kind of swipe in and get into even the back of the stacks, all that good stuff. So you snag that library card. It's more than a lot, like it's not I can rent books, it's I can key card my way into the library type deal after hours. You grab that. Sorry, just trying to realize library card is really not the word I mean for it. So a key card to the Beachwood Public Library.
There we go.
There we go.
Gotcha.
Awesome. So you guide her off to the side, and she stands, and you realize, Franklin, that she's standing in front of the part of the glass window where the Freddy Krueger standee was. That you took the picture of Ellen with her like arm kind of hanging on Freddy and pretending to give him a kiss. She's standing there, and she looks at you. And then she moves over a little bit to the GNC store or whatever that's right next to it, so that she's got a more appropriate background for any cameras, any pictures that might happen. And so let's cut away as you're about to begin this interview. Let's cut away to Sebastian and Tegan. So Sebastian, does your dad have like one of those little magnetic key holder things underneath the wheel hub? Is that how you're getting in to check the boot? Or is there some other way that you can get into your dad's car?
Yeah, I guess they're like one of those magnetic things. And just pop it open there.
Cool. Yeah, it's just like a little metal box, almost like an Altoids box with a really strong magnet. You put it right onto the wheel hub. You slide that open. There's your key, and you pop, and you can get open into the trunk. And when you open it up, you see that the case for the shotgun is there. You open it up, and it's empty.
Uh-oh. That's bad.
He wouldn't actually shoot anybody, would he?
Sebastian doesn't say anything.
And I'll kind of reach out and I'll grab your hand. We've got to stop him. He's not in control of himself.
Yeah, no, let's run.
It's cool. So the two of you start trying to run towards the entrance and go into the mall. Meanwhile, Bailey and Franklin, as you guys begin this interview, and Janet is talking about we really need to make sure the kids are safe. It's like really generic, her generic spiel that you haven't seen anything new. Bailey, you see your dad talks to a couple of the guys. They peel off of the picket line and go over. There's like a drugstore on this level that actually has a couple of, like buggies, the grocery carts. And they grab a few of the grocery carts and they're now pushing them towards the flick video. Like they're going to go inside with a bunch of grocery carts. What do? You're going to stick with Franklin?
I'm starting to like press, without antagonizing her, I'm starting to investigate some answers out of Mrs. Thompson with my trespass
cool.
move.
Yep. Goodness, can I wave up one of the Chestnut Street crew to take over the camera for me?
Oh yeah, sure, no problem.
And I'm just like I make some trust me gestures at Franklin.
Ooh, you're getting abandoned, Franklin. This is too hot. Bailey bails when things get really rough, right? She's leaving you high and dry. You're doomed. Layla's your new camera lady. If only Sharp were here. If you had your buddy Scotty Sharp.
Oh man.
Fucking clarinet practice.
Damn clarinet practice.
And
quick cut to Scotty Sharp with a clarinet in his hand. He looks out forlornly towards the window. Then he goes back to
I could be up to some shit. Toot.
So, Mrs. Thompson, what evidence first got you on the case of this illicit drug dealing?
Nice. Now, at any point you want to jump into any investigative mystery, because of your press pass, you can roll plus charm instead of plus sharp.
I'm doing that.
I think so too. So we'll kind of pause for that. Man, I love this new die roller. I mean, I realize it's a little bit of irrational exuberance, but after the frustrations of
I got a 13.
previous, I hate it now. I hate it so much.
It's smooth and simple and it just works. And sometimes it rolls really good for Alex.
Sometimes it does. Cool. So you get to hold 2 on that. And don't forget, beneath the investigative mystery, there's some alternate if you want to grab any of those questions. And she says, Franklin, this crusade that we're on to save our children, to make Beachwood better, it really is. It's all about the foundations of learning and making sure that you have a safe environment. I have to say that before, I was just a regular housewife, happy to make a good meal for my family. Then I joined a book club and we talked about the foundations of a strong community. And it was there where I really came to understand that everything that I see going wrong here in Beachwood, from those kids on their skateboards to problems with drugs at your school, a middle school of all things, a middle school, along with children who talk back to their parents, all that really stems from an environment that's not conducive to unity, to conformity, to understanding what makes a strong community is working together.
I would like what will this lead to?
Oh, nice. So what this will lead to, what her goal is for starts with the PTA, it starts with Fluke Video, but she wants to expand it further to continue. She's wanting to institute no R-rated films at any of the local cinemas, that if there are any music CDs that are at the local Walmart, that they don't have any naughty words in them. And this is what she wants to do, is just quiet down any dissension whatsoever in the community. and everyone follows the lead of the PTA. The PTA is just the first step for Jan. She starts talking a little more grandiosely. And I believe that our local government, we need better leaders who really care about making this a safe space for our people.
You're planning on running for office?
Oh, I mean, I'm just a housewife. I'm just a woman who really cares about Beachwood. I wouldn't say that, but if the people need someone to help us, to help guide us towards a better Beachwood, I'm willing to listen to that call.
Does this refute or affirm something I know, that she is the one who's like pulling the strings? Like the threads are going to her.
Oh, that's nice. So what you realize as you're talking to her is that she keeps hitting certain speech patterns and her reactions are just a little delayed, as if she's also being told what to say.
I mean, there's a lot of bad things in the world. And I'm looking around now, trying to.
She puts her hand on your
I
shoulder.
wanna
She
get
says,
out of
"Don't
this."
you be afraid, Franklin. We're going to make sure you stay safe." And meanwhile, I think Sebastian and Tegan, you guys are like running up the escalator at this point. Bailey, you peeled off, and
Yeah, I've
what
actually.
what was your plan?
Well, I've slipped the library card into Franklin's the library key card
Thank
into
you.
Franklin's back pocket as I peel off and get the Chestnut Street crew, and we're all going to sit in front of the door entrance.
Ooh. Oh, wow. That is, oh man. I need you to act under pressure, right? Because your dad is like, honey, get out of the way. Get out of the way. Like he's just going to try to nudge past you. He's not going to run you over, but
All right,
he's
I got
telling you what to do, right? So an 8.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. On a 7 to 9, the keeper's going to give you a worse outcome, hard choice, or price to pay. What you're going to have to do at this point, you've got a couple of choices, Bailey. Either you can get hurt pushing back on this, or you're going to see one of the Chestnut Street gang is they're going to break on you. But then you guys will get out of it safely. Nobody's going to get hurt.
I'll get hurt.
Okay. Sweet. So your dad starts getting a little more irritated, and then one of the other parents just says, "Hey," and then he pushes forward with his shopping cart, and it hits you right in the knee. Like he thought, "Oh, I'll just like cut between the two of them and they'll get out of the way," but you suck it up, and you're gonna take one harm.
Okay.
AP, but it hurts, right? You're gonna get bruised up. That's a thing that'll go away with time, but it's enough where your dad would have jack slapped that guy any day before today. But instead, he says, "Bailey, I'm very disappointed in you."
Me too.
Go find a brick. Let's just break open the windows. Says, "We're just going to get all their movies out of here. We'll get it out of circulation," the guy says. And
You think they committed a crime? Call the police, morons.
Nice. So Tegan, Sebastian, the two of you make it up. Sebastian, you see that your dad he's marching around. He's wearing this nice tie. He couldn't have a shotgun. It's not like he's walking around with a trench coat.
Okay. Can I check out if anyone else is wearing something specific.
Maybe you're reading a scary situation.
Yeah. Let's see. Read a sitch is sharp. Okay. That's a 12.
Wow, a 12. That's pretty darn good. You get to hold 3. So any questions? And don't
Yes.
forget, you've got
Oh.
the connect the dots as well. So
Yes. I'll start with are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
you see among this concerned PTA crew is none other than Patrick O'Neill. That's Rolf's dad.
Okay.
And he's wearing a trench coat, and it appears he has a shotgun underneath it. And he's moving up to the window.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna go to the next. What is the best way to protect the victims?
Ooh, the victims being you guys?
I also, I guess, the store owner.
Officer Sips calling the actual cops, as long as they are not part of the PTA, probably your number one option. Another option, you realize there's a few fire alarms. Maybe you could pull that. That might be able to cause enough of a distraction to kind of break apart the hold of what's going on here.
Okay. I'm gonna spend one of my connected dots as well. What does the monster want from Patrick O'Neill?
Ooh, what does the monster want from Patrick O'Neill? Obedience. Patrick O'Neill right now is a pawn of the monster. That it is willing to sacrifice this pawn to be able to take care of a problem. That problem being flick video for some reason.
Yes. And then I guess I mean, I'm still just going to ask this one in case it's not Patrick O'Neill, but what's the biggest threat?
What's the biggest threat? Yeah, guy with shotgun is probably what you'd immediately think is the biggest threat, but you realize that it's probably Janet because she seems to be the ringleader. So the biggest immediate threat, absolutely, guy with shotgun. Biggest threat overall here, Janet, because if he gets tackled down, he obviously is a pawn that the monster was willing to sacrifice. And if you sacrifice your pawn and you lose it, so be it.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell Tegan, like, we need to stop PTA lady. Can you do something? Wait, I'm gonna find the fire alarm.
What?
The man over there has a gun. Dude with a mustache.
I look over. Okay.
Archie says, "Would you like for me to bite him?"
No, but bite the gun. Pull the gun out, Archie. And I'm going to begin moving towards Thompson as Archie peels off to try and pull the gun out where it's visible.
Okay. So I feel
Sebastian is going to run for a fire alarm.
You're awesome. That is fantastic. So I think this is like the great tense moment where we have our bio break. But when we come back, Tegan, you'll be kicking some butt with Archie, and Sebastian will have you act under pressure to get over there before shit comes to shit. So Cool. It is 5 after. Take like 10 minutes, and we'll see you guys at a quarter after. dog wants to play. I had to buy a new watch band because all the times he's like bit at it, and this one's a lot stronger, but he's got little needle teeth. Ow.
Small but fierce.
He is.
Every Chihuahua believes they're the size of a Rottweiler.
Yeah. I actually got myself a new-ish Apple Watch.
Oh, nice. Congrats.
Should get in today, maybe?
Nice.
Yeah. I'm jumping up from a Series 1 to a Series 3 because I ain't going all the way to a Series 5 just yet.
I hope you love it. I think that's really cool. I downloaded, this is a very drastic subject change, sorry. But Elder Scrolls Online was free to play until Wednesday. And so I thought, sure, I'll try that. And I downloaded it. I haven't made it through character creation. And I'm like,
Really? Oh.
that's 75 gigs. I'll never. Oh, wait, I can delete it. I will get back. Haha. It wasn't bad. It was just like,
I would have loved to hear how it
Played this for a
was.
while.
Really? I love me some Elder Scrolls.
I was a big Skyrim fan back in the day. It really was. I quite enjoyed it. And it feels like Skyrim. So if you like that, and it's on super sale on the Xbox store for $10. So I thought,
Oh, that's nice.
try it and then I could buy it. But it's just like, I don't know.
I'll tell you, Morrowind, I may have spent more time on Morrowind than I have spent on any game ever in my life. It easily rivals Civ. I played Morrowind like it was my job.
I played a lot of it, and then the fence incident. I did not have alternate save files. I just had one because I was a dumb baby gamer at the time. And my awesome orc, I tried to jump over a fence, but I got stuck on it, and that was it. He could never move again, and I had no other save file.
I love that you could fly in Morrowind. It's the one thing I hated that Skyrim didn't have was the ability to fly.
It was nice. I liked the striders that you could use for fast travel. There was just something about them that were really fascinating. It was a good game. Wasn't Morrowind also the one that had Patrick Stewart as the initial voiceover?
Yeah, see.
Wasn't that Oblivion?
No, yeah, that's Oblivion. He's
Oh, it's
the
Oblivion? Oh, okay.
It was a very good
I knew I could.
voiceover.
Emperor.
Yeah, good stuff. All right. Sorry for the Elder Scrolls side quest there.
That's the current state.
Awesome.
Fabio Orc.
Of what?
Bobby York.
Yeah.
York. That's what that means. 'Cause I came back and I saw Fab York. I had no idea what that meant. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's delightful. All right. So we pick up Tegan. You just asked Archie to try to get that gun away, while Sebastian, you're racing over, try to set off the fire alarm. And Bailey, you're still part of that. Like it has a completely de-escalated moment with your dad, while Franklin, you are continuing your interview. Let's get in a question, because from Franklin, if you have any, before all hell breaks loose, because once the shotgun is taken away and the fire alarm happens, I don't think the interview is going to continue. So do you have any other questions? Because I know I've been jumping around that you wanted to get to.
Hey, Mrs. Thompson, do you fear that maybe this crowd, there might be a danger of violence from this protest?
Well, I certainly don't trust that Ellen girl.
You believe one woman is going to attack a crowd of adults?
I would hope she would do something so foolish. But you know, she sells drugs to kids, and she shows them pornography. So there's nothing beyond her.
Which children have been shown pornography?
And she
So I can interview them about the dangers of
she
the dangers.
pauses. She pauses for a moment, and you realize that there are no children who she knows of that have seen such pornography. Tegan, please roll to kick some butt.
Alrighty. Is this me, or should we have some sort of what Archie is?
We have Archie's attack and toughness.
We don't have
His powers are tough, so let's say he's got a
Right.
tough of 1.
That makes sense to me.
Okay.
Cool. All right. I'll add 1 to. Did I roll? I rolled 0. Oops. Oops. Okay. There. Oh, that's bad. That's a 6. I've got to spend luck on this one.
Oh man, I just remembered. We have a luck point spent by Bailey. So whenever you spend a point of luck, someone from your past will reappear in your life soon. And Tegan now just spent one. When you spend a point of luck, your first encounter comes up in play. It could be a flashback, new occurrence, or related event. Awesome. Okay, so I totally have the Bailey thing. That's a soon. It's not going to happen. Probably won't happen in this scene, but I've got a thing. But yeah, I think I wasn't. Yep, the Tegan thing. Here it comes. Bam. So you see a flash of Archie going for the gun, and in your mind's eye, you see him getting shot. And that sudden sharp pain of losing him strikes you. And so you reach out. What do other people who might be seeing this dog in the mall charging across, like what do they see that they can't explain? Because you push this to a 12, so he does exactly what you wanted.
I think that what they can't explain is as he begins moving across, rushing towards, his face sort of changes and looks more human, like a human male. And he's moving at such a speed, it's almost like he's leaving tracers behind.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think that it's a sort of thing you go, what did I see? But yeah, it's an oddness they see as he leaps across.
Nice. And sorry.
I suppose the face is probably the most striking bit.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Seeing the dog's face become like a human face is going to leave some scars there. He grabs hold of the shotgun and
You're going to
pulls.
try. Yeah.
Yep. Sorry.
I'm using as my extra effect. Move them where you want them.
Perfect.
And so I'm trying to not really bite him, but trying to get that gun apparent and kind of move him where he staggers back from it.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. You force them where you want them is absolutely the thing. We'll even say that Archie's able to grab hold of that barrel, yank it hard enough to where it slides out of his hands and skitters onto the floor of that walkway on the second floor of the mall. Sebastian, you were rushing forward to try to flip the fire alarm.
Yes.
Let's have you do that. Act under pressure.
That's very cool. But I get a +1 because I'm doing this after the results of my read a situation, scary situation. So let's see.
Oh, that's right.
Makes it a flat roll. But I'll roll sharp. And, no, not sharp. Cool. And then add +1. Well, that's a 2. You know what? I'm going to take it.
Okay. Go ahead and mark that XP.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, I think what happens is you take off for the fire alarm, and I think it's one of those where you trip over your own shoelaces and you go sprawling and you like slam into the wall with your hand just below it. And you grab onto the wall, and I'm going to give you 1 harm. And that's when your dad comes over and picks you up, like kind of grabs your shoulder to help you back up. What are you doing here, son?
Freeing you from mind control.
You will go home right this minute, or you're grounded.
I hope you're going to forget this, and I kick him in the shins. Try to get away from him.
Nice. Kick the butt.
Let's roll tough. Shit. It's a 6. No, I'm definitely going to spend luck on this because.
Oh my goodness. Spending a luck to kick your dad better. That's great. You spend a point of luck, pick an aspect of the current situation. I'll tell you what other conspiracies that aspect connects to. Wow.
An aspect of the current situation.
You want a moment or two to think about it?
Yeah,
There aren't a whole lot of aspects to the situation, though.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I'm thinking, like, is it just the situation of me kicking my dad? Then
no, I think it's like the situation you're currently in with the people and the mall and all that good stuff. I think there's things.
Yeah, I think, and I'll go for the videotapes.
Sweet. So, because this is a 2-shot, I'm going to kind of combine 2 luck expenditures somewhat together. Sebastian, somehow, maybe it's the pain from your nose, the taste of the coppery taste of blood and on your lips from where your nose has bled a little bit. But you not only connect the dots, but you are able to listen in when Tegan hears a voice. For a moment, Tegan, it feels like the way Archie talks to you, but the voice is different. And you can recognize it. Sebastian, you don't recognize the voice, but you hear it. It's a young voice. It's a kid that went through the same experience you did, but he didn't make it back to school. His name is Gabriel. Deacon, you need to leave now. I don't want you to get hurt.
What's happened to you?
I've learned about my powers. Someday you'll learn too. They all work differently. I am trying to stop this, and you're in my way.
I'm sorry.
You understand now that you know.
Where are you?
I can't trust you.
I'm going to find you.
And that's when Janet Thompson comes over to try to pick Tegan up and throw her over the railing. Franklin, you're interviewing her. She just stopped talking and kind of froze for a second and craned her head. And then she turns, she ignores you completely and starts walking over and snatches Tegan up. And that's when, Tegan, you're dropped out of that conversation that you're having. Sebastian, you see it. Bailey, you're there. You're close enough. You'd have to kind of break out of standing in front of Flick Video. But I think, Franklin, you're the first that is close enough to actually take an action, if you like. What do you do?
I think I would run in and try and, like, not attack her, but at least shove her. Like, I think basically just try and fling myself in between.
Okay, I think you're trying to protect somebody.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's have you do that. You still roll plus tough.
Great. Flat roll. Seven.
Okay.
Everything is fine.
7, you protect them okay, but you'll suffer some or all the harm they were going to get. Wow. That's a lot.
So I guess I'm jumping up.
Okay, so Bailey, what are you doing?
Well, I'm trying to back Franklin's play, but clearly this gets out of hand.
Yeah, it's about to get out of hand. It's a shotgun laying on the ground. Just not that you need it, but it's there. There's a dog who's like attacking somebody. Someone screamed about it has a human face. And yeah, the shopping cart patrol is still having a face off with you, Bailey, but you can easily slip out to try to help out Franklin and Tegan. And yeah, Sebastian's having a showdown with his dad. So
what exactly is actually happening to Franklin?
Okay,
I mean, I've
great.
dived.
Yeah, that's important. That's
fair.
the most important context here.
So I think what happens is vis-a-vis Janet Thompson and Tegan is that Janet Thompson rushes over, grabs Tegan underneath her like armpits to try to pick her up and throw her over the, like, if you can, look right there, like, there. So she'll go head first down an entire story onto poured concrete. So Franklin, you're going to take some of the harm that she would get. I don't think she's going to turn and throw Franklin, but maybe it's a thing where you
elbow
have
me and
yeah, she like elbows you in the throw, and you catch Tegan, and the two of you don't go over the side yet, but you're still near it. And let's have you take 2 harm from a very savage elbow. She kind of cracks you across the head, inadvertently, of course. This was obviously your fault for getting in the way or something. Yeah, so Tegan, you snap out of it. Miss Thompson has picked you up. You felt yourself about to fly, but then Franklin kind of caught you. And now Janet... Janet is looking around, and she sees the shotgun and starts quickly walking towards it.
Yeah, I pick it up and I engage the break action and dump the ammo.
All right, act under pressure. See if you can pull that off before she gets over to you and tries to grab it and snatch it away from you.
Cool. What are my results, dice roller?
Let me think about it. Looks like a 7. 2 3s and a modifier of 1. Do you see it?
Yep, I see it.
All right, on a 7, you're going to get a hard choice. Huh? Let's see. Worst outcome, hard choice, or price to pay? I think more pain isn't it. I think here's the deal. Someone called Officer Sips. He's going to witness you snatching up a shotgun. And while, yeah, you're doing the right thing by like breaking open the breech load and popping out a couple of bullets, he just clocked you having a shotgun in the mall. That is your hard choice if you continue forward with this action.
We doing it.
All right. Yeah, so you do that. Do you like pocket the shells? There's a couple of, is it buckshot that Sebastian, is it buckshot your dad has for maximum damage? I mean, if you're gonna fire, you might as well do the best.
Honestly, I throw them over the balcony, the
Nice.
shells, because that's not gonna hurt anybody.
No. Sweet. And Sips like comes running up. Kid! And Janet Thompson immediately backs off and says, I was trying to stop her from shooting anyone.
This lady's full of it. But I dropped the shotgun.
You drop the shotgun. He grabs you by your arm and he says, listen, you people are causing a ruckus. We've already had someone call the cops. They're on their way. This has got to stop. You're out of here.
Finally.
So things are starting to devolve pretty quickly here as people are, the cops are coming. Janet seems to have lost a bit of control of the crowd. Sebastian, you're still facing off with your dad though. Like he's rock solid on you. And he says, you're grounded. I'm taking you home right now. This obviously was not meant to be.
And then Sebastian's like, I mean, it sucks that I'm grounded, but it's better if he's out of here. So yeah, sure.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, Tegan, I think your mom's gonna rush over and hug you so hard. You're like the plexiglass kind of walled beneath the railing, and she's crying. Oh my God, I can't believe what happened.
Miss Thompson was trying to hurt me, Mom.
Hey, Mrs. Marsh.
Franklin saved me.
Oh, thank you, Franklin. Oh, honey, we need to get you home right now. Maybe we should take you to the hospital and get you checked out.
No, I'm fine, Mom. I'm fine. And I'll kind of pull away enough to go over and look at Franklin, and in a quiet voice as I get down to, you saved me.
Nothing. She has sharp elbows.
And I'll throw my arms around him and hug him.
Aw, that's cool. Is there anything else you guys want from the scene? I think what's going to happen is, I think it's a good break, but I wanted to check.
So Sebastian is definitely like, as he's being escorted out, so going to go like, Dad, isn't that your shotgun that's on the floor there?
It's so funny because it does not have any serial numbers on it, nor does it have our name on it.
I wiped it for prints before I handed it off. It's all good.
He exactly did that thing. So, yeah. So we good to cut there? We like do the, dramatic TV thing of they're milling around a little bit and the PTA throng starts to disperse. Janet Thompson, of course, sucks up to Sips as he walks Bailey out. And then Officer Black shows up with his partner, and yeah, they keep the peace, but it doesn't look like anybody's actually going to get arrested, which sucks, right? Because they just like did some pretty terrible stuff. What's our next scene? I kind of would love to have the group getting together to talk about it type deal, but
Can that be done over like phone calls where we're all dragged up?
Party line?
The phone. Yes. We're all
It'll
like
have to be,
huddled
I
in a
mean,
corner trying to have a private conversation.
oh yeah,
Away
someone's
from-
got. So I imagine like Sebastian. Maybe you have one of those cordless phones that you like to pull out the really long antenna thing, and I'm imagining Tegan like there's the like pigtail super long cord phone, right?
Mom would definitely have gotten her pink princess phone with the pigtail.
Nice. What about Bailey? Where when you're on this phone call, what's that look like?
Oh man. My phone is old. It's like one of those 70s, like Formalite. You could
Rotary
kill
phone.
somebody with it.
Yeah,
Like
full
it's a rotary phone with the headset. Oh yeah. Yep.
That's great.
I think I'm on I'm outside the house on the kind of kitchen door steps, like to go into the garden with the phone at the full extension. It can go.
It's like somebody walks across, they might like garrote themselves.
Yeah. There's like a shot of, of course, like, going across the kitchen at neck height. And I'm just crouched down on the steps.
Okay. So yeah, we pick up, we do quick shots of, and we'll intersperse shots of you guys all in those various places. Where's Sebastian hiding while he's on the phone? You have a phone line to your room, but that's been cut off. So
Yeah. I mean, he probably snuck out of his room, found the phone, and
I mean,
took it back to his room.
yeah. Didn't he just cancel the internet? But the phone line is still there?
That's
it's dial up. Yeah.
yeah.
That was the second line. So the main line is still on.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So sorry for all the setup. I just that Imagine Space
It's
amuses
important.
me. So go for it.
Is everybody okay?
Yeah.
No.
But
Franklin, are you still hurt?
got a little bit of bruise. It's okay.
You have to speak up. I can't hear you very well.
Miss Thompson, hit Franklin.
Yeah, I saw it.
Elbow.
And
She's gonna
he was
throw me off a
definitely going to
balcony.
try to shoot somebody.
What?
She went for the shotgun.
There was a shotgun there?
There was a shotgun there. I
Yeah.
grabbed it. By the way, nobody's pressing charges against me, so that's cool.
Oh, thank God.
Oh.
It's good.
Did the police
However-
get there?
I've got 10 hours of community service coming up, so that's going to be great.
Oh, you should read to old people. They're very lonely.
We'll see what I get.
I think I kind of know who's causing this.
CIA
I heard a
sponsored book
voice.
club. What?
Like, I heard a voice. Like, Tegan was talking to someone.
Yeah. Bailey, you might remember him too.
Okay. Spooky. Go on.
I think it's someone we met in therapy.
Okay.
Rich, do I remember his name? You say I recognize the voice.
Yeah, I dropped it in chat. His name's
Oh,
Gabriel.
sorry. Oh, Gabriel. Yes. Gabriel. Do you remember him?
Yeah, a little bit.
So Gabriel was a kid who was like somewhere between Tegan and Bailey's age. It's not like you guys will like swap what ages you are. He went through similar experiences to what Tegan did, and he lost the ability to walk. So when you guys knew him in therapy, he was in a wheelchair and pretty angry about it.
I think he can control people's minds. And I think he believes that, well, that he has to stop people from hurting kids. However, from what I saw he was willing to do to Franklin and to me,
Yeah.
He's not doing a great job.
his theory of kids may be broader than the individual.
Yeah, maybe. Okay.
Gotta find him.
Well, that I might be able to help with.
So Franklin, if you look in your back pocket, you're gonna find
What?
a magnetic key card.
I knew it. No. Well, no, I don't show it to anyone because I'm on the phone.
But you make that gesture because let me
Yes,
tell you, I've many
yes.
times on the phone, like when you're on the phone, like you wave goodbye to them. This is like that. So, was she going on about some book club she joined?
Yes. She was like, she says she like got up the idea of this crusade once from this like book club at the library, and we've got the
That
key.
came from her purse.
Oh yeah, guys, I got the key card for the library.
Oh, awesome. We could go in anytime, even on a holiday.
I'm not going anywhere, man.
Yeah, but we don't have to go in through the main entrance. We've got the key card to go in the back entrance, so they don't record our movements. You know.
Are you on lockdown, Sebastian?
Yeah, I was hoping that my dad would forget about like we'd fix this and he'd forget all about it, but yeah, he's not very. I kicked him.
Oh,
You have a ladder in the garage, don't you?
Yes.
jailbreak.
Jailbreak.
But I'm in so much trouble already.
I've been to your house. Your windows are bad.
And it's
Yes. I'm not saying I can't escape. I'm saying I'm
Put
gonna be in
pillows
so
over.
much trouble.
Switch the light off. Put pillows underneath the covers. Make a fake Sebastian.
I guess. But he better forget about everything.
I mean,
if we don't
Definitely
fix
not being
it,
yourself.
he's not gonna ever be back to himself.
It's true. I have to
You gotta
fix my
take
dad.
risks. Yeah.
so
Okay.
You said that you might. Do we think he's going to this book club? You said you might know something about this, Franklin.
well, I mean, Mrs.
Thompson.
She was. It seemed like that's where she got the idea, and I mean, I thought maybe she was in control of it. I mean, like you said, like the threads were going to her, but she's as brainwashed. She must have been brainwashed somewhere.
We should find out when the book club's meeting next.
I mean, they must have paperwork of the library.
Does the library have a
When-
website?
Late 90s. You tell me, does it have a website?
I mean, not Hollywood.
No, they don't.
Hang on. I bet I do have two-way calling though. So I'll hit the star button and call the library to hear on their answering machine all their meetings.
Thank you for calling the Beachwood Public Library, where books are your pathway to adventure.
It's a
For the week
reading
of-
rainbow.
The week ending August 12, these are the following meetings that are scheduled. And then it runs through a series. There are 6 meetings. There are a couple of different book clubs. One of them is the Divorcee Support Club, book club. And then you find out that there is, hold on, Rich has to look up a thing. The Durand Mastery Dungeons and Dragons Advanced 2nd Edition Tournament.
Oh God, he's running a funnel.
And then a few other meetings, but yeah, you're able to pick out there's a particular if she's an attendee of a book club, she's probably not going to the divorcee one since she talked a lot about being a housewife.
I'll double click the hang up button so it pops back over. Okay, I think this is the time they meet. But
it's like tomorrow night, we'll say.
Tomorrow night.
Okay, so do we go and then just hope we don't get brainwashed, or what?
I mean,
Well,
Tegan, can't you like silver foil our heads with your powers?
no, they don't really work like. I'm open. I'm not good at closing.
But it's okay. I have plenty of tin foil in the house. I can make actual hats.
I bet Sebastian, you could do it. Yeah.
I mean, make sure you got one for all of us.
And we could test it. I could see if I can read you.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
On a meta level, I can't do magic, but y'all can.
That's true. If you want to do magic powers to I think I'm just looking at the stuff we can do. Default, bar, place, or portal to a specific person or type of creature.
Brains?
Yeah, I think if you were to create like a tinfoil hat, and that could be one of the effects you choose. I'm okay with that. With your magic powers. But it doesn't have to be like an you can like create tinfoil hat and that's your magic, right?
Yeah, I will try to make tinfoil hats.
This is great. What is the music playing during the montage of you creating a tinfoil hat, like trying it on, adding more on? Like I need to know what music's playing.
And is this like the whole day because we're meeting the next night? So it's like the light changes across the room as you
see the clock. He's like spinning around.
I have to think of 90s.
Please say they're not just like tinfoil hats; they're like inside baseball caps or something.
I mean,
it's like brutal.
I think it's just Crazy from Aerosmith.
Nice. Perfect. That's delightful. I love it. All right, we'll go ahead and roll plus weird.
Right. Boop. That's a 5.
Oh, you're bad at your job.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's.
I'm gonna roll with it and not.
It totally works.
Because it's exactly it totally works.
Totally works. It's awesome. You've never actually made a tinfoil hat, but this one, when you look it up on AOL, like it should work.
Really, Sebastian's never made a tinfoil hat.
I'm pretty sure he has. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is the way you made all the others.
Yeah.
And they worked. And you know this is good. Hey, Tegan. You have a +1 ongoing. with Sebastian while he's wearing that hat. Moves targeting him.
Ah.
So yeah, is this a thing where Tegan shows up at Sebastian's place? Because you're still grounded, man. Can't leave.
Yeah, I suppose we say we're going to meet up, right? Is that the deal? We'll meet up afternoon, hour
Meet up
before
after school.
Yeah, hour for the meeting.
Oh, Sebastian, you created like multiple, right? Because if this works,
Yes.
so you made
Yeah, I
enough
made-
for Franklin and Bailey.
Absolutely.
Did you make a dog-sized one? Just curious.
Yeah, I think so. Considering the dog has probably talked to us as well, so yes.
Nice.
What
Sweet.
do they look like?
Bicorn.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
I'm not wearing this.
Do we need to break him out, or
Yeah, well, I suppose we'll get the ladder and as quietly as possible place it up near his window.
Nice. Is anyone particularly good at sneaking? All right. Just
Do
looking
the thing.
across the.
Yep.
Yeah, do the thing. I guess we're doing the old trusty act under pressure unless someone has a move that feels like it'd work better.
Nope.
Rock on. The coolest among you may roll.
Well, Bailey's our sneak.
It's
Oh,
true.
it's a 6. Anybody helping me out?
Franklin, me or you? What you think? Or I guess Sebastian, you could be doing something on your end.
I mean, I could, but my cool is really bad.
Yeah, not you. Franklin,
You're freaking out.
Meta
lead.
that's
I think before the ladder kind of gets crunched on crushes a gnome in the garden, I would like try and move it, but let's see how well I do. So I got 1 in cool. Rolled a 9. No, I rolled a 10.
Yep.
Hey.
Nice.
Woo-hoo!
So I like
Move that gnome aside, and that is fantastic. It pushes up to a 7, and yeah, like heart choice. I don't know. Anybody got any ideas for a potential like complication that I could add to this?
We could break
Worst
the
outcome,
ladders.
hard choice. Oh yeah,
We
break
could
the ladder.
ladders so he has to go in the front door to get
Oh,
back
that's good.
in.
That sounds awesome. I like that. You guys good with that? Thank you,
Yep.
Tyler.
Yeah. Yeah. My
Why?
suggestion was going to be that the ladder becomes locked in the extended position so we can't put it back in the garage.
That's breaking, yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Good. Yeah, that's the thing where you end up like just sitting it beside the house and hope that he doesn't come around the corner and see it.
Yep. Yep.
Love it. Sweet. So you guys all hop on bikes because it's a kids on bikes theme thing, and you ride your bikes out and you get to the library. And I think that's when Sebastian reaches into his backpack to pull out all of the tinfoil hats. And
And then also like to the dog and like
Okay.
whoop.
I put mine on straight away.
Mhm.
I've
There we
already
go.
got mine on as well.
Archie gives me a look before I say, no, it's okay, and put it on him.
Nice.
But
If anyone who wears these hats, you get a +1 ongoing to affect them with moves.
So this will
and
stop satellites as well, right?
Yes, of course.
I think I mentioned I was going to test it.
Uh-huh. What do you want to do?
So I think I'm going to attempt empathy on Sebastian. It's his.
Oh, makes sense.
roll.
It's his thing. He's the one who will eat the consequences. Go ahead and roll act under pressure, but take a +1.
Yeah. So I act under pressure first. I roll. Oops. I cancel. There we go. So I rolled that. Act under pressure. I have a 1 cool. That gives me a 9.
+1.
That was with the plus.
Ah.
Oh, that gives me a 10. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. +1 on that. So it's a 10.
Nice. Good. So with the 10, you can just roll right forward and roll plus weird.
Yeah. Let's see how that goes. So many tabs. Roll. And that gives me a 9. 8.
Okay.
8, sorry.
Your weird's only a 1?
Yeah. My good
And
one's
then-
sharp.
Gotcha.
So that's still not. Yeah.
Oh, actually, it's a 9 because it's still targeting him. So, but it doesn't matter. It's still within the range. 7 and 9, you gain
Okay.
hazy impressions of their current emotional state and intentions. So, what is it that Tegan reads about you clearly, Sebastian? What's your current emotional state?
I think very much like we need to fix this. It definitely needs my dad needs to not remember any of this because I am grounded forever if it's not the case. Like he's just like
Stressed about this. Nice.
Bastion, maybe we should use these as a last resort. I'm not real sure they're helping.
What do you mean?
I think I read your feelings pretty well.
What? It's not possible, obviously.
Maybe you're
You did
just
use silver foil.
Of course.
Okay. I'm taking it off my helmet and looking inside.
I mean, I just I think that maybe they're not working so much.
Well, I'm keeping mine on.
Okay.
What's the backup
And I
plan?
immediately take mine off and fold it down flat and hand it back to Sebastian.
Who looks a bit sad. Like, oh, okay.
Dude, I thought you were going to build these inside of a normal hat.
What? How many hats do you think I have?
Archie comes up to you, Tyler, up to Tegan and rubs against her leg and says, "Please take this stupid thing off of me."
I pulled it off. I bet it has like ear things that fit over, so it's easy to I have to pull it off.
Mm-hmm. Very thoughtful, Sebastian. Ineffective, but thoughtful.
And I'll move over to Sebastian. Don't worry, we're gonna get your dad back normal.
Obviously.
And that's when we see a Canyon Arrow pull up outside, and Janet Thompson gets out, starts to head in. She evidently sets up early. She's got like a Tupperware dish with a bunch of brownies that she's made. Is her hair like in one of those like kerchief things because she was driving.
They're gonna have a fit if we try to beat up a boy in a wheelchair. They're not gonna like that.
He's
Is
gonna
that
be
our
there.
plan?
Yeah, I'm not into that either.
Well, he may be controlling half the town to do things like shoot the lady at the flick store, so I'm a little less sympathetic.
I hate hitting little kids.
Well, we could try to figure out a way to not hit him. Hey, we could try and put one of these hats on him.
Mm-hmm. But
Yeah.
and we like
See.
tape it on really hard.
Guess we can use Bailey's because she doesn't want her, so
But if we can separate him away from them, at least we won't have to deal with adult hassle.
Yeah, I mean,
We could like,
I'd hope to
Lock.
see how his powers work, and then maybe we can short circuit them.
and we can like lock the grown-ups up in whatever room they're having the meeting in.
Not a bad idea.
Hopefully, none of them have to see us.
That seems smart.
I mean, I'm sure that all the grown-ups are going to forget everything after this is done, Sebastian. You know,
Let's
play
hope
on the
so.
safe side. And I take out the key card.
All right. So,
Wait.
yeah,
Everyone,
What?
we have to set our watches same time.
Okay.
Yeah, very quickly ready for that. I'm down with this.
And now.
Yeah, and a nod.
that's so good. So good. Sweet. She didn't have the key card. And this is when, as you guys were having your conversation, like we see her and she digs through her purse and the library isn't closed. So she's able to go in, but she does notice she doesn't have the key card.
I am also tracking her with my laser microphone.
Awesome. She actually says, "It's not here. I don't know."
Do you think the laser microphone has needs to have like a headset for me to listen to it, or is it like everyone
totally has a headache? Oh, that's a good question. And maybe everybody can hear it. That sounds fun. A little contrivance for TV's sake kind of deal. Monday. Yes, I'm sure. I'll wait. And then she heads into the library.
That was got all creepy.
Yeah. He's very powerful. He must be projecting straight into her mind.
Then we hear Rush Limbaugh and a truck comes up, parks. Bailey, your dad, gets out. He's the kind of guy like he would have just, slid out of the truck type deal, but instead he opens the door and very purposely gets out and strides up and heads into the library.
If we've got the key card, we can probably get in through the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's our way in. If we want to avoid being spotted by any of our parents.
Yeah. No offense, Bailey, but your dad's almost as scary as Sebastian's.
Yeah. I can only hope that being mind controlled means that he doesn't have access to his training because, damn.
Imagine your dad, he's ex-military. Maybe he's got one of those death from above tattoos, right? He's still in good shape. He's the kind of guy that can mess you up. It would not be good.
I'm holding my stun gun close to me. Well, not mine, it's my mum's. I took it out of her purse.
Okay, let's go in and see if we can get somewhere to hide in eyeshot.
Okay.
So you guys all park your bikes. You head around. Imagining that the library is, it's pretty big. This is the 90s, so libraries were still valued institutions in small towns because there wasn't the internet to steal everything away. And so you head around, and sure enough, there is on the back door where the dumpster is, and well, no, that was probably a little further away. The back door is near the little cul-de-sac thing where you have the book drop off, so you could do an after hours. And there's a camera that's pointed to the back door. Do you guys do anything about that, or just go ahead and key card through and not worry about that?
I mean, is the camera outdoors?
Yeah, this camera's.
I mean, I have the feeling that Franklin would want to show off his spinus, and he would aim his laser microphone. I don't know if laser microphones really have a visible spectrum laser, but
They're not, or at least they shouldn't be.
I think it would be some kind of use magic for you to pull that off. The power of kid logic.
Yeah, I'm willing to use the power of kid logic.
Magic powers, roll plus weird.
Great. -1. Or with kid logic.
A 4 with kid logic. Yeah, it turns out that your laser microphone totally does what you want. Your laser microphone.
And I approach the door while aiming the laser.
Got it, Franklin.
It's fine. Just as long as I keep it aimed.
Yeah.
I'm very
Bailey,
carefully
you
aiming
know
the
that
laser.
he's wrong. You're aware he's wrong. What do you do? You also know this is a public library. It's not like they have a security guard sitting there watching the camera right now. It's probably a thing that gets recorded, and if there's a problem, somebody goes and checks the tapes.
Nobody's gonna even look at the footage unless some kind of crime happens.
Well, luckily, they'll see nothing.
Oh, okay, buddy. A sock would be more effective. Let's go.
Man, that 15-year-old Bailey, she just knows everything and is right. All right, so you guys head in after using the key card, and you're back in the stacks, right? This is the place where, sure enough, you see there's this big rolly bin that's pulled up right beside the drop-off bin, right? And there are a bunch of unfiled books, and there's a bunch of new boxes full of shipments and stuff, and it looks like they're sorting out some for an upcoming book sale. It's a lot. It's a big open space in here. It's almost like a loading dock type area. You can make your way in, and there are, sure enough, some cordoned off meeting rooms that aren't available to the public. It takes special reservations. So the 4 of you sneak through. Oh, before I commit to 4 of you, first of all, is your crew member Scotty Sharp along with you, Franklin? Or is this a thing where he's out of the loop?
I can't imagine him willing to put his neck on the line for this group.
I mean, you're not wrong. So, okay. And then the second question is, Archie's has come inside, correct?
Oh, of course. Yes.
All right. So click these little nails on the floor. It's a poured concrete. It's basically like a thin laminate tile type deal. That's what they have set up in here. And every sound kind of echoes because it's that big concrete, large space. There's a low hum from the power and the lights overhead. And you guys sneak in, and then all of a sudden you reach a little carpeted area with those VIP meeting rooms, and you're able to see that there's a door, and you guys kind of pull back for a little bit, and Bailey, your dad, goes inside with Miss Thompson or Mrs. Thompson, and what do you guys do?
I check around to see if there's any schedule board or anything to see if the other 2 VIP rooms are booked at all today.
Oh, yeah, we'll say no. The other 2 VIP rooms are not booked today.
And I'll let people know. I'll be like, hey, we could just camp out in the room next to them if we want to.
Okay. Rich,
Like, do they have windows between them, or is it drywall?
Oh, that's a fair question. I imagine it's like there's a carpeted hallway between. We'll say there are 4, so the other 3 aren't. Like there are 2 doors that face each other, 2 doors that face each other. The meeting rooms themselves are primarily a large conference table with chairs, and there's like a little side area where they might have a water cooler and maybe a microwave kind of deal.
So this hallway is rooms on either side. You couldn't move around the stacks to be able to see into them.
Fair question. I think if you wanted to peek in your main 2 options, and I probably could have had a die roll, but fuck it, is you kind of got up and because it's drop ceiling, right? So if you got in, you could peek up through there. Air ducts are too small even for you guys to crawl through. And I'm imagining the front door is one of those where it's probably got a little shade that you can pull down, but you could probably like kind of peek through the little space in the shade and kind of look in to get a little bit of a vague idea of what's going on.
Can I read a bad situation?
Yeah, go for it.
Scary situation.
It is a scary situation.
Thank you. Sorry, scary situation.
That is.
I do like my rename. I should have made you use it. Thank you.
Yeah, my bad on that one.
Good.
Okay. So I'm rolling. 6. That's an 8.
Okay, you get to hold 1.
Is there any dangers we haven't noticed?
As you get closer and kind of do that, like peering in the little bit, you see, sure enough, that there is you see like the handle from the bit of profile, the handle of a wheelchair, and Gabriel is inside.
Okay. Oh, he's already here.
Shit. Is he doing brain things?
I can't. I mean, I could try to find out, but I'll probably have to. I'll have to get real close.
We need to spread out or something. Or
Why?
get in position.
I mean, okay.
I'll try and feel out what's going on in there, but somebody needs to kind of watch to make sure they don't notice me, and I sometimes act a little weird when I do that. So I can watch me.
Guard you.
Okay.
I look to Sebastian. Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll my eyes at boys.
I mean, Caesar's cuts paper, so
Yeah.
Sebastian is the one who'll be guarding you.
I'll look over at Franklin a little bit like, but I'll, okay. And,
I feel that's totally in character for sexist boys that we don't even think to ask Bailey. We just go straight to like, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Terrible teens. Then I will try to move close enough to open up my senses.
And I'll just sneak out the door and to do something. Brendan has no idea.
So I'm doing it sensitive.
Can
All
I help?
right. I think
Alex,
so.
I love you so much. That's hilarious. Ah!
Oh Lord, I want to buy this thing. Okay, so you're going to do sensitive, which means you got to act under.
No, this is my straight one.
Okay, sorry. It's
Yeah,
empath. It's act under pressure, Rich.
Yeah, people act under pressure. Places don't have to.
Okay, perfect. Roll plus weird.
Okay. Ugh. I think I'm gonna go with that 6 and take the XP.
All right. On a miss, your
Let's make
brain
it
makes
exciting.
contact with something dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
You reach out, and immediately you feel Gabriel, and he's aware. I told you, Tegan. You knew there would be consequences. And then you hear Archie yelp out in pain.
Ah!
Sorry.
And I think I can't help but like scream, Archie!
And yeah, that's when the door will start to open. What do you guys do?
I think I moved closer to the conference room door.
Sure.
Because I think that was what I was.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think that's what I stupidly, the rock, paper, scissors decided. So
what do you do? You're near the door. It's about to be shoved open.
I looked at the group for a second and then just grabbed the door handle and try and hold it closed.
Ooh, nice. That is tough. I think what you're trying to do is protect somebody.
I'll try to help you,
Or
maybe?
is it under a pressure? Oh,
I think you're trying to protect them, and I'm also getting just a little tired of doing nothing but act under pressure rolls. So trying to prevent
It's not a
harm
move
to
that
another
can-
character is a little broader.
Yes.
Yeah.
It absorbs all moves.
It does.
Yeah. Well, that's plus tough, which
Yeah.
it's a flat roll for me. So.
But I believe Sebastian's declared he wanted to help you, so
Yes.
let's have him roll that plus
Exceed.
that -1 cool.
The 6, yeah.
6 and a 6. That's great. It would have paid off. It definitely would have been helpful if you got that plus. But yes, it's like double fail. This is like the bad ending. This is the thing where you like on the choose an adventure, like, oh, let me go back.
Damn it, the Yeti.
Why didn't I? Yeah.
Damn it, the Yeti. Nice. So the two of you both grab onto the door handle to try to hold it closed, and
Both just stumble in.
Or is this just Bailey's dad just drags the door open with one?
Yes, it's a thing where he just like yanks it open and both of you pulled in and you fall kind of pitch forward on top of each other. And there is Bailey's dad and Mrs. Thompson, and you see there's a kid who's in a wheelchair. He's like your age. You've never seen him at school. And there's a big like TV on a rack thing, and they've got a video camera there, and you see there's a bunch of VHS tapes, and it looks like they have two VCRs like set up to each other, and they're like dubbing them over to make copies and stuff. And yeah, that's the thing that you see. Bailey but Bailey, you see that your dad is trying to basically grab these guys for the backs of their necks and hoist them up. What do you do, Bailey?
I think I'm going to. Yeah, yes, I'm going to say, Archie, go help them, and point Archie towards Sebastian and Franklin, while I am attempting to, if people are coming out after them, I'm going to try and do that little stagger hold back so that when there's enough of a gap, I'm shooting it to get in there to Gabriel.
Okay. So good. So Tegan's intention is to try to get inside the room. They do not appear to be trying to prevent you from getting in the room at this moment. So you don't even need to roll to like get into the room. That's fine. Let me check with Bailey. What's Bailey doing? Archie is now, you hear him growling, and he's going to probably attack your dad, Bailey? You're not sure? He's a dog. He has limited options.
Yeah, he's a big guy. He can handle it.
All right, then.
But I also, of course, prevail on him to stop. Dad, what are you doing?
Sweet. So yeah, things are crazy at this point. You realize that intensity that your father normally has seems different. Like there's a more mechanical reaction. His motions are less practiced, less smooth. Almost like there's a resistance band to what his movements. And he hears you, but then Archie is on him and like bites his forearm, and he jumps back, and Archie continues forward. So he's now trying to basically sacrifice his forearm to try to grab Bailey. Bailey. Archie is the Y at the end. I screwed it up. Archie, he's trying to grab hold of Archie and do what he can to protect himself. And you see that Gabriel's pretty freaked out that there's a big dog in this room. Ms. Thompson, who doesn't have any weapons right now, is trying to grab the wheelchair to wheel him back and away from the dog to protect him. So Tegan, I think you might be of the group, the one that's expressly moved into the room and might be somewhat free, because both Sebastian and Franklin have to get back up. So what are you doing, Tegan?
I'm going to rush over towards Gabriel.
Mm-hmm.
And as I get closer, you have to see that you're hurting people. What you're doing is wrong.
Cool. I think you are trying to trick somebody, right? Telling him what you want to do, and you get your roll plus charm.
I am not agree with that, but that's a 7.
Okay. On a 7 to 9, they'll do it, but only if you do something for them right now to show that you mean it. If you ask too much, they'll tell you what, if anything, it would take for them to do it.
Hey, bro, you haven't been around kids in so long. You don't have to be alone. If you were with us, you would know. Being with them, looking at the adult, that's not what you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be with us.
You only just make fun of me. No, this is the only way that we'll be safe. I'm trying to take care of people.
The right way. If you were with us, you know that. Yeah, you'll probably get made fun of. I get made fun of. But that doesn't mean that you won't make friends.
I have friends.
The people you're controlling.
Cool. So as this is going on, this face-off between the two searchers, as it were, Sebastian and Franklin, you hear Archie fighting with Bailey's dad. You see that Tegan is rushed over and she's trying to implore this Gabriel to stop. Sebastian, what are you doing?
I think Sebastian, because he's on the floor anyway, he crawls over behind Bailey's dad and stays on his hands and knees and hopes that Franklin gets the hint.
Yeah, I think I would like give a little quizzical look and like looking up at Bailey's dad, like unsure, like, and then I would go in for the
Nice.
I guess
Go
kicking
ahead
some
and
ass.
kick some butt.
Kick some butt. Sorry,
I guess I'm helping.
I'm sorry for the swear.
You are. You're so hot. I've already cursed a few times.
What's my tough? Is it -1? I think.
I'm not
Your
helping
tough's a
very
0.
well.
No, tough's a 0. That's fine.
Yeah, Sebastian, yet again, rolling terribly.
That's how I roll.
It is how you roll. Literally how
That's
you
7.
roll. Okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, so I think it's a thing where Sebastian, you're going to take a harm.
Because he
and
sort of
he
lands on me.
literally lands on you and gets knocked over. Yeah, and Bailey. So you see that Sebastian Franklin have effectively tripped up your dad, which when he pulls away, you see your dad's forearm is not great. You know, he's taken some dog bites. He's going to need to go to get that looked at. But what are you doing as you see that Tegan is moved over to Gabriel and Miss Thompson is trying to reach up and snatch Tegan by her hair? What are you doing, Bailey?
We're going to see how she likes it.
Okay, kick some butt.
Okay, another 7.
Oh, nice. You get to swap harm. That's a thing. So yeah, you reach up, you snatch her hair. She's going to backhand you. You take 1 harm from that.
Mm-hmm.
But you are able to force her to, well, yeah, I think you hurt her.
Once I've got her hair, I can my goal is basically to lead her around by her head away from Tegan.
Okay. Yeah, you do that thing. She's going to try to make a fist punch you. This is not really things she's used to doing, but she's seen shows where that's how it goes. So she's going to try it out. And Tegan, I think what happens is Gabriel looks at you and he's going to try to do something with his brain to you.
I figured.
What do you do?
I reach down into my pocket where I have Archie's tinfoil hat, and I quickly slam it onto him.
Okay.
And open up my empathy to feel what he's feeling so that when he gets into me, we do a feedback loop.
Oh, shit, that's insane. All right. Act under pressure, and that will cover also putting the hat on. And this is crazy bananas. I love it.
Oh. All right. That's a 9.
Ooh. Okay.
Do you not get a +1 for the hat?
Oh, for the hat gives me a 10.
Yes. Perfect.
No, this is an act under pressure. I don't get it from the act under pressure.
Oh, that's true.
From
It's
the-
not where. Oh,
Right.
I mean, Franklin's plan once, because he's like he would be to clamber over the kind of stumbling
Gonna help?
Mr. Ellington, is to. I'm assuming that the TV and the video recorder is one of those ones that's on wheels. That
Yes,
wheels
of course.
from classroom to put that kind
exactly.
of. I'm assuming that we're on the second floor. I've decided.
Sure.
I am going to.
The VIP room, so why not? You guys snuck up some
Yeah.
stairs at some point. We
Yes.
we retconned that in.
Franklin wants to wheel that video recorder full of mind control tapes and shove it down some stairs,
Okay.
causing lots of noise and
confusion
probably
and maybe
distracting
helping
and-
out with Tegan's attempt. All right,
Yeah.
go ahead and roll plus cool.
yeah, I got +1 on that, so that's
Good luck.
that's +1. I got 10.
Oh, nice. Because I had my miss ready because you guys have been rolling so many misses, and it would have been that that the extension
do a
cord was
little-
caught around your ankle and you drug down with it. But you got a 10 plus.
Yeah, I shove it
Totally
downstairs and
do
do
the
like a little
thing.
jump, like, yes, I have fixed everything.
Ooh, and then TV crashes down, all the tapes get mashed, and that gives you your +1, Tegan, to your roll. You're helped. Good luck with your empathy. Man, you're like putting your life on the line for this, man. This is
Okay. I rolled a 10. That's an 11.
nice. On 10 or more, you gain a clear impression of their current emotional state and intentions, +1 for when acting on this knowledge. So the very first thing that you, like a hot knife through butter, you pierce into his mind and you realize that he's got a weakness right now because he's about to try to hurt you, which is just going to twofold hurt him. But more broadly, his ability to control people's minds happen when people are like, he can't control kids' minds, and he needs to control people whose minds aren't influenced by sex, drugs, rock and roll, excitement.
Pure folks, so to speak.
He needs people to be as bland as possible so that they're easily suggestible.
That's why I get rid of the films.
Exactly. So you kind of get that moment of inspiration when you reach in, and he does try to hurt you. He lashes out with effectively a psychic bolt, and you hear this flare. You guys hear the pop, and all the lights in the room kind of dim a little bit, and you take 3 harm. Your nose starts to bleed, your ears start to bleed a little bit, and you can feel your brain is starting to heat up. He's starting to sweat, and then all of a sudden that bounces back on him, and it's more than his body can take. Like, he just passes out. It's enough to just zonk him, and before he can make the conscious decision to break off, he was caught on that. It's like he grabbed a live wire, and bam, he just falls and slumps in his chair.
And I think I kind of like collapse just kind of onto him. And as I'm probably starting to cry, as I kind of hang on
Mrs.
to
Thompson
him.
passes out in your arm. Bailey passes out in your arms, and Archie stops attacking your dad because he just drops. And Tegan's crying because she looks like she got hurt bad. What do you do, Bailey?
I like point to Sebastian and say, "Hey, get something around his arm, something to stop the bleeding." And I'll go over to Tegan and like check her over, look at her face. Tegan, hey, are you all right?
He was so unhappy.
I don't know if it's over, but it looks over.
Oh, yes, he's unconscious. He's controlling people that. I kind of look back towards thinking about her dad, and that are bland.
I look
Sure.
back at my dad and like shrug.
I don't know what to do with him. How are the boys?
Come back into the room, like wiping some sweat. Like
Sebastian
broke
is
the
now
tapes.
shirtless.
Oh, wow.
It's not that kind of show, kids.
I imagine the enormous divot in his chest.
Oh, it's terrible. And yeah, I shake my head and sort of like hand Tegan like a handkerchief from my pocket or something, and go to check on Gabriel. How's he looking?
I mean, it looks like somebody clocked him something, but he's not on the verge of dying or anything. He's just been knocked out, almost like he got an electric shock and passed out from it.
I mean, he seems fine, but I know what you mean. He's gotta come around and stop doing this crap.
Sebastian, we need him. We need his powers controlled. Can you work some of like psychic deflections into his wheelchair?
Maybe
Like the hats, but a framework.
Meanwhile, still, tying the sleeves of his shirt around the arm. Like, I can try.
He wakes up, he's just gonna start again if we don't.
Give me your hats.
What? I can't do with that.
All right. So
Maybe we
eventually,
should also,
someone is going to
keep
be
an eye on
responding
him.
to the really loud noise of the TV going down the stairs. And
Oh yeah, that too. Guys, we need to get out of here.
I mean, if he's lonely, we talk to him.
We just wheel him out of here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we got to get him down the stairs, so I'll get the handle. Somebody's got to get the legs, I guess.
Yeah, and
Just use the elevator?
there's an elevator. There has to be.
Oh, well, okay then. Yeah, that's right. ADA.
Right.
So yeah, we'll take the elevator.
Sweet. It takes a key card. Ta-da! Awesome.
Sweet.
So
Yep.
sloop the little
I'm
key
involved.
card and it
Excellent.
opens up, and meanwhile there's a guy who comes around and looks at the stairs like, what in the hell?
Head out the front, look natural.
We were
without his shirts.
There's a bunch of people are looking and like
In the elevator, I give you my hoodie
nice.
because I have a shirt underneath it.
Imagine Archie licks my face and kind of like
Of course.
tries to clean me up.
Yes, he would do his best to make sure you look good.
Be a good boy.
Were we carrying Gabriel in the wheelchair, or were we taking him out? And
Oh, we're not
No,
taking
we're
him
gonna-
out. We can just
yeah,
wheel him
yeah,
into
yeah.
the elevator and do
Yeah.
that just fine. I was just confused.
It's all
No,
good.
no, no.
It's all good.
No.
Forgot
we-
that elevators exist because we
That's
haven't
okay.
described them.
it happens.
I was also kind of like, I think, like, yeah, it's going to be hard to bring him down the
No.
stairs. And I was like, wait, but he also came up the stairs, or did he?
Yeah, I was like,
Right.
it has to be a thing. It's all good.
Well,
We're
and
good.
there's a TV that's down at the bottom of the stairs.
we went from ground floor to second floor. We
That's
just needed
right.
we had to need
Yes.
to backfill
Right, we
logic
had to fix it.
elevators. So
Yeah.
all good.
Like, we worked in some stairs, but we could also taken an elevator.
Blame
Yeah.
Alex. It's okay though. He's got an orc romance thing going on, so it's fine.
Yeah.
And yeah, just pushing forward into the park next door to the library. Just normal day. Everything's fine.
My
You
hoodie
good?
is a bit too big.
Like, I mean, there was a big loud noise, but you guys are all basically middle schoolers, so yeah, I think somebody might notice that the kid in the wheelchair is passed out, but it's not like anyone's going to stop you. You make it out, and just looking at time, do we want to kind of maybe we fade away from that and do just a quick bit of epilogues? This could be easy, either like chapter in stuff or lead into next mystery thing, because it's going to be probably a few months before we come back to Monster Squad, so I want to let you guys put the characters to bed. Who's got idea of like end of this two-parter, a backdoor pilot miniseries?
I think Franklin has to be in his room writing up the next issue of The Monk. I mean, that's
Nice. We have like this weird Doogie Howser-ish music, but it's not exactly right.
And you probably get like I can't think of it now, but there would be like you'd be hearing the internal monologue of him as he,
Yes.
no one wants to squint at the TV to read the text he's writing.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Sweet. And he writes up for The Monk.
And that'd be a big headline with some very cheesy pun. I can't think of a cheesy pun at the moment.
It's okay.
I've already used my cheesy pun brain power.
We'll fix it. We'll fix it in post.
Names.
Fabrork it wins. It's fine. Cool. Anyone else have a cool epilogue? What do we see once you've wrapped things for this particular mystery?
Probably just a shot of Bailey doing her community service.
Doing your what?
Doing her community service. She's got one of those sticks with a little metal
With the
spike
poker,
on the end.
an orange vest.
Yeah.
He didn't get the job talking to old people.
Nope.
I think Sebastian still grounded, but at least he gets internet access back.
Nice. Yeah, that's true. You get your internet back. Tegan, yeah.
I think we see Tegan back at home, and she's at her little desk and all, and she hears Gabriel's voice. What you up to? Just homework. That's cool. I can feel things from people now. Yeah. I can blast people's minds now. And that's where the scene drops.
That's great and terrifying. I love it. Oh, sweet. And then we hear some synthwave, which is our Monster Squad theme song. And now I want to go listen to some synthwave. That was splendid, friends. Let's do our post-game stuff just for XP, because we'll talk about it, but I wouldn't be opposed. Did you conclude the current mystery?
Yes.
Did you save someone from certain death or worse?
You didn't kill a kid in a wheelchair.
Also,
I
think the owner of the video store.
Right. And we saved a bunch of parents from being mind controlled.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think there was lots of people saved from being mind controlled. Is definitely or worse, in my opinion. Fantastic. Did you learn something new and important about a member of the squad? I did one out of order. Sorry.
Hmm.
Out of character, we the telekinetic powers of Tegan. We got to see a little wide selection of things, and now she has Mind Blast power.
Depending on how this XP goes, yeah. I think we saw Bailey's Chestnut crew come into action, which
That was
is new
fun.
and different.
Yeah, cool. Good. And then, did you learn something new and important about the world?
More than one person has been affected by the thing that gave Tegan her powers. Maybe more.
Ooh, yeah.
That's true.
I just realized
Cosmic
that
Storm?
I had a dangling participle. No, I think I've got to slide into our epilogues. So what was our epilogue for Bailey? We may have to do like a second epilogue, like a post credits
Community service.
Oh,
Community
the
service,
epilogue
yeah,
for
yeah.
Bailey was her, yeah,
community
picking
service.
up
Right,
trash
right,
in the
sweet,
park.
sweet. So yeah, it's a thing where you like stab, grab it with your gloved hand, stick it into the little, messenger bag thing that's over your, and we hear not Rush Limbaugh, but we hear the sound of your dad's truck pulling up, and we just see Bailey look up, and then we hear her say, "Mom." There, that's our thing.
Yeah.
There, that was the luck thing, that like dangling participle. So there you go. Person from your past. Sweet. So that's 4x. That's 4 guesses, which is 2 XP.
Woo!
Second roll over.
My
Wow.
horse.
A bash in the XP horse.
I get my first advance.
Oh, good stuff. All right, sweet. Let's do a quick bit of stars and wishes, friends. Reminder that next week we will be finishing off our minimum rage. It's going to be like a back-to-back, bringing games to a close for a bit. Oh, so good, but so sad, but still good, because new games, new fun experiences are on the horizon. So let's start with wishes. Let's say that our wishes this time, any critical feedback for, I wish that this could be touched up or fixed because it was a thing that I didn't super love for the next time that we play Monster Squad. And also wishes for, hey, this was a particular relationship or aspect, part of the setting that when we revisit Monster Squad might be interesting to me. And I'm kind of assumptive here. Before I do all that, is anyone like, you know what? I'm done with Monster Squad. That was good, and I'm good to put it to bed. Anybody?
I really like the characters, so
Okay, cool.
I could play a bit more of this.
I realized I was kind of assuming that, so I wanted to check in there. Sweet. So that's the framing I'd like for wishes. If you could just talk about, are there any particular parts of Monster Squad that don't feel awesome and could be touched up, and also anything you definitely want to focus on for future Monster Squad fun?
I think
Alex,
I have a one. I wouldn't change anything about this session, but I do definitely want to see Franklin's family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah.
But I would not change anything in this session, like the focus and.
Yeah, that was definitely one of those. How do I work that in? And I felt I was so far along that to shoehorn them as being controlled felt like it was too much. So let's definitely focus on that for the next time that we come back, because I'm curious about his family too. Who else has wishes?
I think my wish would be for maybe some revision of the gear for the flake, the weirdo. It's very heavy.
What do you feel like
heavy. It's all weapons, so like I don't know.
Yeah,
some
cool, useful
gadgets
stuff.
or yeah.
Maybe some taking some of the gear from the Snoop, from my Kid Reporter stuff, because there's some good stuff that I haven't ship taken. So
Even the look around, maybe the professional, the expert.
Yeah.
That's a great suggestion. I will definitely do that. Cool. Thank you, Jan.
My wish is, I'll tell you straight up, I want to play more of this. I am super invested in these characters. A wish that's kind of a thing. It's a wish, but it's also a what I do a lot. When you look at that, keep your cool. I think it's nice to look at it as I can use whatever stat I want to as GM to push it. In other words, you can use push your luck as an under pressure of whatever. And if you variable up the stat you pull from it, it becomes extremely versatile.
So it becomes defy danger, effectively.
Right. You know, it gets that little bit of fellowship where you can pull different stats in. Because keep your cool when you're like helping somebody, or, you know, there's ways that it can get more variable dependent on the moment. So it's worth looking at. Those are my wishes.
Cool. Thank you. Jen.
Oh. Let's see, wishes. It's interesting to see more of the landscape of Beachwood through this game. So I like that. And although this is, yes, the Mallverse, like, I'm fine with this crew not being necessarily as mall focused. So that's like, I went in and I was like, man, what are we doing in the mall? But here at the end of this session, I'm like, well, there's other stuff in town.
Yeah, I felt because I knew it was a 2-shot. I didn't want to just whole cloth create a whole lot of new Beachwood. So while I borrowed a huge amount of this from Tales from the Loop mystery.
Sure.
And it had a video store, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm into this. I like the whole like 80s satanic panic vibe to it. Yeah. And then I just, you know what, I'll shove the video store in the mall. Right. But that was the only
And mall. Like, I'm not saying let's ditch the mall as a central, you know, reference point. I'm just saying it's okay to not be in the mall every day that we're, you know, playing the verse.
Sorry, I was trying to agree with you by saying you said it's the inciting incident or a place, but I think next time we visit Monster Squad, if we don't end up doing a thing at the mall, so be it. Doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah. Otherwise, got any big wishes? Meh. I am liking this cast. I would be perfectly happy playing this game again.
Good. Well, we'll stick with you for stars. What stars would you like to hand out?
I mean, stars for all of the goofy kid schemes that happened this session, and also the tinfoil hat chat. Just put some pillows under your blanket. It'll be fine. There were some very good comedic moments this session, and that was fun. Defo for sure.
Cool. Tyler, what about you? What stars would you like to hand out?
I thought this was brilliant. I thought that your mystery was creepy as fuck. It really grabbed hold. We all had stakes in it. I thought that was really neat. It had a really creepy feel, and I like scary things. I will star also that I think that it's interesting with our older kids. It feels less serious with our older kids. Perhaps because of the mechanics of those games, but there's a less serious feel to it. And I think that's a neat juxtaposition when you look at the young folks of the Maliverse are dealing in really emotional, dark stuff. And I thought that was cool. I really did. I thought that was neat. And it was overlapped with the sort of idea that, okay, we weren't going to shoot some kid with a shotgun in that library. We weren't going to, even though it's possible I got thrown off a balcony, we weren't really, there was a level where it's kids. But at the same time, this is one of the darkest stories we've had in the Maliverse. And it was brilliant. I just thought it was beautiful. And for characters, I loved how our characters interacted. Our level of support, and that it was us against the world sort of feel, was really nice. And coming from a younger kid point of view, that trust in your friend, that certainty of what's right, I thought it just felt great. I thought these 2 sessions were amazing.
Yeah, there's definitely a Stand By Me aspect to this that I really enjoyed, and that was the way you portrayed your characters and their friendship and their acceptance of each other and their weirdness. Some of you guys are really weird, like a weirdo. But I don't want to take up all the stars. I have a few at the end. Jan, what about you? What stars do you want to hand out?
I thought it was a really cool adventure. It was nice and not too straightforward. Like, first, we had to work through the PTA lady before we finally could find the person that was actually behind it all. So that was cool. That gave us some steps to follow. And just, it was, it had impact. It had it was a strong story. And just the way all the characters played off of each other was just fabulous. Again, good teamwork, good camaraderie. Cool characters.
Awesome. Thanks, John. What about you, Alex?
I mean, ditto all the characters. And I just, kind of going off what Tyler was saying, like the conclusion of it, I really liked that it was a kind of a kid scrabbling through a problem, and then the kind of payoff of that kind of, we kind of just incapacitated the villain, and then implied connected with them and just made friends with them so they weren't lonely. I really dug that. And before I forget, one last wish is I really want to use my metal detector and Ouija board to solve something. Mainly the metal detector, because that feels so such a kid's thing, a metal detector.
So
I wanted a metal detector so bad when I was a kid.
I mean, you could do so many things with it.
I had one and never found a thing.
Oh.
You never solved crimes with your metal detector?
Dang it. You keep going to the wrong places.
Yeah.
I used it as a weapon because it'd go wee, so I pointed at people.
Ooh, ideas.
The key card thing, like the only time when you pick party, I'm like, well, I was gonna have the secret room magically locked so the skeleton key would work, but then I was like, no, first of all, it's got psychic powers, not magic powers. And second of all, pickpocketing with a 13. Okay, fine. I'll just
I mean, I love that as well. Just like the idea of just interviewing this woman and just like seeing Bailey just start to pickpocket, like just trying not to look at her pickpocket.
So a few stars that I want to hand out. First of all, Jed, Bailey's pragmatism, because you normally play really pragmatic, sensible characters, but there's something about Bailey's older than them knowing it kind of miss that was abusing, because she could be a little more salty about it, and she was older, so they all had to listen to her, and there was something about that was oddly endearing. I also like the idea of the Chestnut Street gang just following her around to do random crimes to help people. That amused me. I liked Bailey. Like, hey, can you guys go do this thing and don't do this? Oh yeah, we got it. That was fun.
Yep.
Franklin's interviewing skills. That's why the Snoop is. There's a certain way to play the Snoop, and you didn't have the opportunity to play your character that way, so you had to be Kid Reporter version, and it was great. I really liked the use of the moves and how it unlocked a lot of stuff for other people to do as well. It was interesting to see Franklin as not only an active character but a support character. That was fun. John Sebastian's synchronizing the watches. I had to mute myself. I couldn't see. I was laughing so hard. I just love how Sebastian has there's certain things I've seen in movies that we are going to be doing them. And you would just Sebastian was
right.
This is what we have to do. We have to synchronize watches, and no one did anything time related from that moment after, but all the group was like,
Of course.
synchronize a fucking watch. I loved that. That was one of my favorite little moments of the game that wasn't like die rolling. It was just a character does a thing, and it's darling. It's darling. Tyler, Tegan's approach to Gabriel was good. It was surprising. It shouldn't be surprising, but it was refreshingly surprising of hey, this person's kind of like me. I'm going to talk to them. And then he lashes out and you're like, no, I'm going to still talk to him. And then you get his weakness. You're like, no, that's still not how I'm not going to torture this guy by sticking headphones on him and making him listen to rock and roll. And that was a legit way to deal with somebody who's trying to mind control a bunch of people, but that wasn't what Tegan did, and I really admired that. There's definitely a gentleness within the storm to Tegan that is refreshing and endearing. She's not terrifying like 11, right? Still love 11. No complaints about the character. Just saying Tegan was something different, and that was cool and admirable. I appreciated that. So good stuff. Next week is Minimum Rage, the end of the concert / skate park showdown.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun, I hope.
Yeah, Wolf and Chad are going to have a great time with no drama.
And it turns out that Brooke's going to get found real quick when we thought it was going to be a few sessions of finding her. Sweet. So I'll go ahead and stop the stream here, and we'll see you guys